Hey, it's Angie with News OK and
Sherrel,
who is our food columnist for the Oklahoman. She is our passion for food columnist. And today, I don't know exactly what's going on. Sherrel, tell me about these gloves that you've got on here.
Well, I just did this to emphasize the fact that it is chowder weather, January and February. And chowders are those wonderful thick stews or soups, you might call them, that are that have lots of potatoes in them, and
so when it's
usually
cold outside,
dairy.
You can warm up with it.
You can warm up with chowder. In fact, it's a great thing to take on an outdoor picnic if you're going skating or hiking in the snow, or even skiing, I suppose. And you could put this in a thermos and take it along with you, and then take a nice mug, and then you keep your mittens on. And
so what kind of chowder are you doing?
This is my favorite sort of double-duty chowder, and I like to think of it, first of all, it's the basic recipe that I make for potato chowder or potato soup. There are all sorts of things you can add to it, and one of my favorite is, of course, clams, and in this neck of the woods, we generally get them in a can. So first, I think we'll show what we've started to do here, which is I've sautéed a mirepoix of carrots and celery and onions in the pan. And notice I've let this I don't know if our camera can get close enough to see, but I've let them start to brown and caramelize a little bit on the edge.
Right.
And I just put a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter in the bottom of the pan and did that. It takes about 10 minutes. It took about 10 minutes to chop everything up. So we're talking about a pretty quick thing. And then I have little cubes of potatoes that I've made. So we're going to fire up the burner and continue cooking. And we're going to add the potatoes. Okay, I'm going to stir my potatoes around and incorporate them with the carrots, celery, and onions. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit of water.
That is a tiny bit of water.
Yeah, not much, just maybe a quarter of a cup to get everything starting to go. And then I'm going to put the lid on it and let it just sort of cook those potatoes. I'm going to turn the fire down, adjust it a little bit, kind of low, and I wait about probably 10 minutes. Those potatoes will soften, and then we'll proceed with making the chowder.
All right, we're back. Sherrel, how's it going? How's it look?
Well, the potatoes are starting to soften, and what I'm going to do is kind of chop them up to see if they break. And I'm also going to add, for flavor, if you're not on a sodium-restricted diet, you can do this, is add just one little bouillon cube to this mixture. So, and it'll soften and blend in, but that'll add the salt and just kind of season our chowder. One of the things that you want to do to thicken the chowder is mash some of the potatoes against the side of the pan. And this just kind of gives you some thickening for the liquid in the chowder. So you have to get the potatoes fairly done. These are russet potatoes, and they mash easily. And then I like to use, a lot of times you can put cream in the mixture, but I'm going to put some evaporated milk. And you can use evaporated skim milk. And this makes it nice and thick without all the added calories. So I use a can of that, to which I'm going to add a little bit of other milk. You could use a cup of cream, but since it's after Christmas and we're watching our weight between now and the Super Bowl, I guess, when we go into another eating frenzy. But we're going to put it together and see how nice and thick that's made the chowder. And then you taste it for seasoning. Sometimes you can, I'm just going to put a little pepper in it, fresh ground, and stir it up, and probably a little extra milk. And then I have a nice potato chowder. One of the things you could also do is add some chopped bacon as a garnish if you want. I would saute the bacon separately, but the other, I think, essential ingredient to chowder is chopped parsley.
All right, so we have some parsley here.
Yes, and we're going to chop that up. I like to put some in the soup and then also in the chowder and also have some to garnish Parsley is full of riboflavin and B vitamins, which are so wonderful for you. So great to have a little extra of that in the winter.
Okay.
And so I'm going to stir a bunch of it into the chowder. And if the chowder that you make is not quite thick enough for you, one thing you could do is add some instant mashed potatoes to it if you want. If you want to thicken it even more, but you want to keep all the potatoes in it without mashing a portion of them up. But I think this is plenty thick.
I bet you could just eat it like that.
Oh, yes, you could. Or I could add some corn to it, or I could add shrimp to it.
There you
and have a corn and shrimp chowder.
So what's next?
So what's next, if I want to turn this into clam chowder, I'm going to take a couple of cans. You could use up to 4 cans probably in this amount, but it has the clam juice and the clams that have already been cleaned. And I could just add those and have a quick dish of clam chowder. Now, one cautionary note: if you are not sure who's going to be consuming this, you might want to stick to just the potato chowder, the basic chowder, vegetable chowder itself, because some people are allergic to iodine in the fish. So we have to be cautious about that if you don't know who's coming and what their allergies might be.
So do you need to let this sit for a while, or?
You can eat it, scoop it up right now, or pour it. Yeah, and it takes about 30 minutes to do, but from stop to start, it's great for a winter evening or for a snack, or it could be with the Super Bowl thing. And one thing, if you notice that it needs a little something, and I like to taste.
What do you think?
I think it tastes wonderful. I could add I could spruce it up with a little bit of garlic salt if you think it needs a little something. Or garlic powder. That'll give it a little more punch.
Very nice.
Without any extra calories. So
this is
we're set to go.
Winter.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect for the winter.
So, and I like to serve chowder in a mug. I think that's the best way. So
very nice.
Grab your mittens and head for the park.
There we go. Check out Sherrel Jones' column in the Oklahoman in the Life section for this recipe and much more. She has wonderful, entertaining, and great ideas, especially in the winter, to keep us warm. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Angie, and make some chowder.